Madhuri Charanam. In this podcast episode, Madhuri Amma takes a quote from one of Sri Amma Pujyasri Mathioli Saraswathy's books and explains the profound layers of meaning that this quote contains. You will hear a devotee read out the quote, which will then be followed by Madhuri Amma's explanation. We hope you enjoy the episode. Madhuri Charanam.
Madhuri Charanam, everybody. So today I thought I get these questions about Amma's quotes that we share every day for positivity in our group. We share these quotes every day, and that quote kind of gives us a positive path to move forward that day, and a small message for all of us, isn't it? To somehow tackle our hindrances that day. Everyone gets a positive message. And that's the feedback I get. But some messages are a little challenging to understand. And I do get these forwarded to me asking an explanation. So I thought, why not have a session picking out some of the quotes. I'd asked the devotees, obviously, I asked Urmila to put that forward in the group, and a lot of you have responded with your the quotes, forwarding the quotes that need further explanation and clarity, right? So here we go. I'll let Urmila.
Yes, Amma.
You can go ahead and read out the first quote that needs explanation.
If discipline is adapted in our lives, it helps to bring out the light within us. All fears and anxieties get thrown away automatically.
Does anyone need that reread, or Urmila, can you read that slowly?
Sure. If discipline is adapted in our lives, it helps to bring out the light within us. All fears and anxieties get thrown away automatically.
So one of the devotees who had questions regarding this was asking about the word adapted instead of adopted. Adapted is what, if you go to the dictionary, the meaning of adapted is to adjust, change is made according to the environment around, adjusting to a new place, surrounding. That's adapting. Being flexible, right? Resilient, versatile. All these come when you put adapting as the word. So how do you adapt discipline? It's very thought-provoking, because adopting discipline is what we have understood, we understand, and we all know what that means. But what is adapting? It's very important, because our lives, it's not static. It changes. Every day is not the same. And when we talk about discipline, it is a routine. It could be a way of life, what we have chosen, and we chose to, adapt it in our daily lives, adopt it in our daily lives. So whatever that schedule is, right? But it does get a little disrupted if we face challenges or if we have a guest. So adapting is a very key word, because even though there are changes, even though there are some disruptions or hindrances, we still keep that discipline intact. For this particular thing, I would always give, examples of the nature. I love nature. Nature is something we have to learn from. So many things. We say, oh, he changes like a chameleon. Now let's take that chameleon as an example. What has that chameleon done to us? Nothing. It has not harmed us at all. But such a beautiful creature the Lord has created. Wherever you put that species, wherever you put that living being, it will adapt to that environment. You put it around a green surrounding, it'll become green. It becomes one with that. You put it in a woody area or a sand, it becomes one with that. But we've used that in a very negative way. We've said he's a chameleon, changes with the surrounding, with the environment. But we have never used that species to say something positive. Now here I am, I'm taking that initiative to, introduce the positivity in that species, in that creature, because adapting to anything around is an art. And I'm taking that from nature. And I'm giving it to you in a positive way. This is from Amma's books. And she has written so many books. These quotes are all from Amma's books, and she has written it. And, when you read her books, there are so many meanings to it, more and more and more you read. It makes you think more and more on different angles. It's not just that. So that's why that one quote gives so many messages to so many people who read it. That one sentence or one quote is enough to cheer up a devotee or make him ponder. So many meanings in one quote. Only Amma can do. So again, coming back to this, I took the example of the chameleon and gave you a very positive take on that. So adapting discipline it reminds me of one person I know. I'm not going to take his name and all that, but I admire this one aspect of his. He is very fond of doing Sandhya. He does Sandhya in the morning, afternoon, evening. It's very particular discipline. That's a discipline he has adopted in his life. But where does adapted come? I'll tell you. Let's say, for instance, he's traveling from India to the US. And, that he has a watch. He has his watch. He knows what time. He doesn't use the phone as a watch. He uses his own watch. So he knows what time we are in, where we are, what we are. So according to his watch, he will still do his sundown in the flight. adapting to that environment, not giving an excuse, I'm in the flight, I'm not going to do it. So he'll have a cup. The flight gives a cup. So he's not going to be, some people are very particular about using, his Panchapatram and all that. No, he's not bothered about that. He's bothered about the chants, the chanting and the Gayatri Mantra. He does that. With his watch, with his clock, he gets that done meticulously. And that is the discipline. He has never missed even one time of Sandhya. That is one thing he stuck to from the day he got his Upanayanam done. Just one example, He has never said, oh, there were guests. Even when he has come here to Sri Vasudha, so many people will be there. A lot of people will be there. But he will ask me for a cup. And I'll say, we have the Panchapatram. I can give it to you. So he'll be very happy. So he doesn't care about what he uses. But he cares about that Sandhya Vandanam being done on time. That is one thing that he was very disciplined about, and he did it. He adapts to every environment, every situation, and the discipline is maintained. So I thought, nature being the example, I talked about the chameleon. I would also like to talk about how the seasons are formed. See, the discipline is whatever comes, the seasons are so perfectly portrayed to us. Spring, summer, fall, winter. Whether we are paying attention to it or not, that keeps happening on its own, right? Again, how many of us go outside and actually pay attention to nature? You'll see a small honeybee. Just pay attention to that honeybee. It takes so much effort collecting that honey. Have you ever thought what is the lifespan of a honeybee? It works so hard. I would wonder, has it ever paused, taken rest? We feel so exhausted seeing it work, right? And then, of course, the humans just take the honey and consume it. All hard work. Whatever the nature's hard work is being used by the humans. But I did research on this, okay? The honeybee span is just 2 to 6 weeks in summer. Lifespan. In 2 to 6 weeks, how much work it does every day? And it varies, of course, through seasons. It's 20 weeks in winter and 2 to 6 weeks in summer. So winter, not that much work, I guess, so it lives a little longer. One more thing I wanted to discuss when it comes to discipline is when we combine it with bhakti. One aspect I told you about practice. I gave you an example of Sandhya Vandanam. When we couple it with bhakti, respect. All this is discipline. And this is very important. I wanted to always discuss this. So when, for instance, we have a meeting with our VP, at work, or manager, whatever. It's a very important day. We have our shirts and ties and all crisp, ironed, starched. Everything is so well put together. We don't want to sit anywhere. We make it very clear to others not to, the kids do not come and hug so that there's a wrinkle on our shirt. We're so particular about all this before we attend the meeting at work because we want to portray ourselves well. Maybe we need a promotion, a raise. Well, we want to be in as good books, whoever we're meeting. So we take care about all this, right? But when we go to meet the CEO, the president, the ruler, the emperor, the empress of the universe and beyond, we take it easy. Have you ever thought about that? Shorts போட்டுன்னு போலாம். A lot of people wear shorts when they go to his house, her house, with the caps. And who is that? The Lord, the Ambal, who created the CEO that you are going to meet or the VP that you are going to meet. She's the creator of all of us, of all the things you see around you. And for that, we don't really pay much attention, do we? And why is that? Because God will understand. He does not look at what we wear. He looks at the inside. He is not judgmental. He doesn't judge. We say all this. Well, all this is 100% true. I'm not saying it's false. It is all true. But we talk like we are realized souls. This is 100% true for matured minds. When we say God understands, God does not look at outside what we wear. What is inside is what he sees. All that is correct for realized souls. Yes, think about it. If you are detached, if you are realized, if you have no negativity inside, if you don't look at another person and judge, how many of us look at another person and judge? So many judgments, analysis. We judge. So when you say God looks at the inside and not at the outside, understand how much of inside we need to cleanse first. We have to cleanse our inside. He does look at the inside. So inside, when he looks and we have all this dirt, at least let's keep our outside beautiful. Let's dress up well and go. Let's show respect. Have we reached that stage where we can say all the Lord, when we can be a spokesperson for the Lord and say, he won't mind. Humility. With humility comes maturity, and with maturity, we will not be a spokesperson. We will not say, he won't mind. We can go anyway we want. We will tone ourselves down. And we will know that we cannot speak for him. And we have to train our kids also in the same manner. The discipline, the respect, that when you go to the temple, that place deserves. I know we tend to go to the temple. A lot of times nowadays, what happens is they go summer, they go to the beach and everything, and then they go to the temple just to see the Lord and then go eat over there. Because always the cafeteria is there in the temple. So they come with shorts and everything. I understand you want to go to the beach, but always have a change of clothes. Always have a change of clothes if you plan to go to the temple. Now, I always say what I practice, okay? This is what I practice. This is what we practice. In case we don't have change of clothes, we don't go to the temple. That day, we lost the opportunity to see the Lord. We have to keep change of clothes so we can go visit him. But that has to come. Now, I know nowadays a lot of temples have, they give out veshti and all that to people who come inappropriately dressed, which is good. It's our duty. Okay, simple. It's our duty to show respect to the ultimate. Like I said, we can go and explain this in every possible way, but that one question we need to ask ourselves is, am I that realized and matured to ask all these questions and pinpoint all that and redirect all that towards us? Are we so cleansed enough to even talk for him or think about what he's going to think? Because he's sitting there not saying anything does not mean we can go and do anything we want. It's all noticed and recorded. Chitraguptan is there. Remember? Now, respect goes hand in hand with discipline. Again, same thing. Truth goes hand in hand with discipline. Speaking the truth. No lies. That's another discipline. We adapt to different situations. Truth can be challenging, but it's the best path. Trust me. Sometimes telling the truth can be the most difficult, but you have to. Bhakti goes hand in hand with discipline. Again, we have talked about Yudhishthira, how he got caught in all this unwanted challenges. I have spoken about that in detail in Fear and Have Faith, that session. Go and listen to it. Where he got a little derailed from Bhakti. He was so disciplined. See, every other aspect he had truth. He had discipline. But discipline has so many other parts. Bhakti is a very big, important part of discipline. Humility goes hand in hand with discipline. Whatever we do, we offer it to the Lord. It's an offering. We don't take credit. Humility. That's a discipline too, because you're adapting it in all situations. Detachment goes hand in hand with discipline. When you're detached from everything, there's nothing that is binding you. That's a discipline. You see, you got another meaning of discipline now. Not what the dictionary told you. Now, do you see how that quote comes together? All this put together, whatever I mentioned, respect, truth, bhakti, humility, detachment. All this put together brings out the light within us. Isn't that what it said? All fears and anxieties get thrown away automatically, is what it says. Now read the quote again so that everybody can get a better.
If discipline is adapted in our lives, it helps to bring out the light within us. All fears and anxieties get thrown away automatically.
Make sense? How beautifully she has put it in such simple words, but it has so many rich meaning to it. Right? Because the discipline she's talking about is not the discipline we see in the dictionary. Every word she picks is a spiritual word. A spiritual essence it carries. Madhuri Charanam, Jai Nandalal.